Hello everyone, welcome to the episode 85 of SoLeadSaturday. Our today's guest, Sue, is an entrepreneur and coach who empowers and inspires change through helping people find their passion and purpose. She knows what it's like to want more than just a job. Typically, Sue works with women between the ages 40 to 60 who are longing for that next step in their career where they can live their best life. Women who are challenged with landing a new job, who want a promotion and keep getting passed up, or who aren't satisfied with what they are doing and want a change. Sue helps them make the change and transform lives from frustration into one of passion and purpose. So let's just welcome her and hear more about her career journey. How did she find her area of interest and managing to lead that? Hey, hi Sue. Very happy to have you on the show and really appreciate all your time and consideration being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure because you specifically work with a focus group, which is age group 40 to 60 women, and support them find their passion and the purpose. So definitely, I'm looking forward to this episode, and I'm guessing that there are a lot more women out there who find it interesting as well. So thank you so much for being my guest. So to move with our first segment, which is more or like a general segment about passion or the interest. So how did you find your interest in the career coaching and what steps did you take to pursue that further or what motivates you to be there?
Well, I've always wanted to do this throughout my whole career, but as with all women, life happens, and so I got to do a long stint of 30 years in HR, and then one day the possibility of opening up Inspired Integration came to be. So the door opened for me, and I opened up Inspired Integration and got to do what I always wanted to do. I wanted to help women,
Mm-hmm,
navigate
mm-hmm,
life and career while not losing themselves, because
mm-hmm,
most of the time they become stuck because they lost track of themselves and
mm-hmm.
everything else became first. So um, I just followed my path, and then when the door was open for the opportunity, I just took it.
Oh, nice. So is what was it like your self experience as well going through that phase and finding that you can help many more people along the line along.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, it was me learning to navigate from my
Uh-huh.
20s all the way into, now I'm beginning my 60s to learn
Mm-hmm.
navigation through life's ups and downs, things
Uh-huh.
that happen both in career and life, raising children as a single mom, doing all of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then realizing, hey, there's so many more of us out there who are just so stuck in
Mm-hmm.
how to do it,
Yeah.
how to do it with and being able to follow their passions without losing themselves.
Yep. That's great actually. And it's definitely a great initiative to start with. When you struggle with something, definitely you come up with either a solution for yourself or you build kind of a community where you can be a coach for others as well along the way. So thank
Mhm.
you so much. And moving towards our next segment, it is more about the questions from the audience. And here we have shortlisted a couple of questions for you. So one question that we have is, why do you see it's a necessity to age group 40 to 60, especially women, to achieve what they wanted or get that career shift?
Okay, so that's my niche client. It just happens that most women between that age group have become stuck in one way, shape, or form,
Mm-hmm,
either in their life,
mm-hmm,
which is now trickling into their career, or vice versa, right? And so they don't know how to elevate life and career
mm-hmm,
so that they can have everything that they want. They kind of hit a wall. I will say, though, that during this COVID spell,
mm-hmm.
uh, my my clients have shifted all the way down to 20 years old. So they could be 22 and graduated from college and they're lost.
Mm-hmm.
They already don't know how to get what they want or how to go there. So while the niche client is 40 to 60, it's now evolving into a much larger group of women.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's great, actually. And I would definitely encourage most of the women out there, because I have seen a couple of in my network as well who struggle to get that career shift, to connect with you and get more coaching from you. Moving towards one more question, which we have under the same segment, which is, what do you think is important when you find yourself stuck, and what would be the best approach to handle it?
Well, I always say start with you.
Mm-hmm.
So find time for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because when we're stuck, we're lost. Like we've totally forgotten about ourselves. We're worried about our spouses, our significant others, our children, our family, the coworkers, our bosses, everybody, but we're last. And in essence, we are our best friend, right? So we wouldn't put our best friend last. So I say start with you. Find some way to
Mm-hmm.
put yourself first. So
Mm-hmm.
that might be with my clients, I might teach them to meditate first thing in the morning,
Uh-huh.
or go
Mm-hmm.
exercise or take a walk or whatever that looks like, so that there's space and time for you. And
Mm-hmm.
I like to have them do it early, to do it first thing in the morning, so they kind of set the pace for
Mm-hmm.
how their rest of their day is going to go. Because we mostly, I think what happens is we roll out of bed and we're in that hectic mode the
Mm-hmm.
second our feet touch the floor. And so we don't have any downtime or any me time.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
really great to start before you put your feet on that floor, before everything starts for the day, right?
Yeah.
So I would say start with you, start making time for you, is the first step to getting unstuck.
Yep. And I totally agree with that. Actually, meditation is important. Plus, as you said, exercise or walk around your neighborhood, that is also something which is important. So, thank you so much for sharing. And moving towards our next segment, which is more or like a relaxation segment or the fun segment, where I'm going to give you like a three keywords associated with your profile or career, and you have to just tell me whatever comes to your mind whenever you hear those words. So it
Okay.
can be like a replacement keyword, it can be a short definition, or you can be creative, as much as possible when you hear all those three words. So are you ready?
Sure.
Yeah. So the first word that we have, and we already spoke in your introduction as well, actually. So first word is passion.
Heart.
Mhm. Second word is purpose.
Purpose is why you do what you do.
Mhm. And third keyword, which is change.
Extremely important.
Yeah, that's true. So thank you so much for sharing. And you were pretty quick on that part. So thank you so much. Moving towards our next segment, which is more or about exploring your career, work, or volunteering. And under that segment, we have one question, which is, would you like to share more about inspired integration and the Canvas method with the audience?
Inspired integration. And what was the last part of the question?
And this Canvas method, with the Canvas method that you come up with. Canvas method.
Okay. So inspired integration was designed to integrate
Mm-hmm.
life and career
Mm-hmm.
to inspire whoever, it could be a woman, it could be a man, or whoever it is, to inspire them to have that passion and purpose that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was always about three pieces. It was always about the you,
Mm-hmm.
learning about you, why you do what you do, how you want to drive forward, who you want to stand for, what are those barriers or stories that you tell yourself that get you where you want to go. They don't serve you, but you're holding on to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then really the career piece and building out where you want to go and
Mm-hmm.
driving there yourself without allowing your barriers to drive for you. And then life. How do you want life to balance with that
Mm-hmm.
and integrate with it so that you grow? Because in reality, career will leave. We're going to retire
Mm-hmm.
someday. We're going to stop working. But our life and our you piece never leaves.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to have that. So it's building it so that all of it grows together or apart.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's great, actually, and definitely, it's important to understand that there is always an end to the career, but life is something which is kind of a long journey, and you
Yep.
have to be more focused on your, as you mentioned earlier, that right, it's like putting yourself first and living the life. So, thank you so much for sharing. We are moving towards little closure, and we have the segment which is more about tips or advice. And in this segment, actually, you can mention books or the courses for the students to support your answer. The question is, any tips or advice would you like to give to the students or professionals who are looking into getting into the specific field and grow in it, or looking to make their passion as their long-term career option?
So, in the career piece, I would say that don't just look at today,
Mm-hmm.
because when we only look at today, that's where we start, in a couple of years, we say we need something else. So we go get
Mm-hmm.
something else, and then we need something else. First, start looking at, say, 10 years from now. But if you are in your 20s, maybe it's going to be 15 years from now because your experience level is different.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you like to see yourself then? What kind of job is that? What are you doing? You might not know the title yet, but what are you doing? What are the things you love to do? And then kind of back out goals to get there so that the job today aligns with where you're going
Mm-hmm.
instead of just being a job, because that's what we tend to do. We go in there and we look for a job and say, oh, I can do this job. So you go get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of looking at how far out you want to go and how do I get there and what aligns with that today so that I'm getting the right job for my path that I want to be on in my career.
Mhm. Wow, this is really very great advice to have for the people who wants to follow their passion and get into any specific field. So thank you so much. I'm really enjoying this conversation, and looking somebody who has such a huge experience handling many women as well as people around who are stuck in their career. So thank you so much for being my guest. And our last segment, which is more about the leadership. So no doubt actually that you are leading your area of interest. So what is your leadership style, and any specific leader that you always follow or admire, and why?
Well, I my leadership style is to lead by example.
Uh-huh.
So I don't really, I feel that we should walk side by side as leaders and not in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm no better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But I can give you my experiences and help you drive towards where you want to go, but as your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So my leadership style would be more partnership than, um, dragging people along to do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that, you know, I've had so many leaders in my life that I feel are great leaders in my career and in my life. But if I had to pick one leader, it would be someone in my life, and it would be my mom, who's not here anymore, who was always an inspiration to women,
Mm-hmm.
probably way ahead of her time in everything that she did. So things that other people might think were way out there, she was already navigating and helping to drive forward for women. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say that her leadership and inspiration would be what has driven me and drives me every day as a partner in life and career.
Wow. And this is really very valid point actually, because when I see the social media platforms that nowadays it's a lot more crowded, I always see that, people are a lot more into the followers. But it, as you mentioned, the leadership style is something which is like, taking the people alongside. So it's not like leading them ahead. Like it is always like, I have the quote which says that, leader creates more leaders, not the followers.
Yep.
It's great to see that you are on the same line, and it's a great leadership style to have. So thank you so much for being my guest on the Solid Saturday. I really enjoyed you being the guest, and it was really very quick and a fun chat with you. So thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so this is all about Sue and the way she is managing to lead her area of expertise. As we are talking a lot about passion and the purpose, we are going to end today's episode with a quote on a purpose. And the quote is from Ralph Emerson, and it says, "The purpose of life is not to be happy, it is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well." So, on that quote, we are closing today's episode. See you guys in the next episode. Until we meet, happy leading. Let's lead together. Stay safe. Bye for now.